Good morning, it's fresh, it's new. This is Morning at NTV. We've decided that this show should be about you, a Ugandan, what you need to know. And this segment is Take Note. And just to show you just a preview today, I thought I'd bring in, well, two totally different people, but they do merge at some point. This one has traded in the microphone to be behind the scenes and produce music instead, although from what I hear, he might be coming back soon. But today he's here to talk about the state of affairs in the music industry. I have Benon Mugumbya, a musician, a producer, a businessman. You wear many hats.
Well, I try.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the first of the revamp.
What an honor.
Yes. And I also have from the Ugandan National Organization of Traders Unions, you're the chairman general. Yes. So there are many unions and they round up.
Yes.
And you are the chairman general.
Actually, it's the apex body for all the trade unions.
All the trade unions.
Under it.
Okay. Mr. Wilson Owere. Good morning.
Asha Wilson Owere.
Asha Wilson Owere.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Flavia.
First as well, welcome. Thanking
you.
you for honoring us with your presence on our first show.
And I think I'm very, very happy because this is your first program.
Yes.
And I'm the first.
Yes.
We are
you're sharing the honor.
Yeah.
So this morning, I guess I'll start off with Benon because his industry we all benefit from. We all like to listen to music. We support Ugandan musicians. Sometimes we take them down ourselves after we've built them up. But perhaps to just understand the industry itself, is there some sort of organization? Do you know the number of artists? Because if you ask about journalists, we can give you some sort of framework. If you ask him, traders unions, as he will, he'll give us some sort of framework. Do you have that in the music industry?
Unfortunately, for a long time, it has not been there, and it's going to take a while for us to put our house in order. There is an association called the Uganda Musicians Association. And I think with this association, a lot of things are going to change. First of all, what the association stands for, and the people involved in it really are passionate to make a difference in our industry. So there's going to be change, but our house is not yet in order.
How do you see that? Because if you have the Uganda Musicians Association, listen, somehow all of us think we're musicians. Is this a welcome for everyone who thinks they can and cannot sing, or there's some sort of sieving through to who can and cannot?
Honestly speaking, if you're basically reason why we set up the association, we want the industry to move forward. So if your intentions are way within the lines of
being a musician,
yes, making a difference. So it involves music producers, managers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so whoever is willing to build the industry.
Okay, so whoever is involved in the industry,
yes,
not just the musicians. Okay, so help me understand. You said Uganda Musicians Association, but when we had a chat about copyright issues, and I actually said radios should be paying you, basically airplay. You should be getting paid every time your song plays. Do you?
Okay, it's a very complicated situation. There is a collecting society, which is UPRS, Uganda Performing Rights Society.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there's some issues with transparency and accountability.
So there's collection, but not, it doesn't trickle down to who it's supposed to trickle down to.
Yeah, so actually that is one of the main things that the association wants to tackle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me understand how musicians actually earn. Let's talk about remuneration, because it's standard. We earn a salary where we work. I don't think it's necessarily the same for musicians or people in the arts. What's the remuneration? Where do you get the value? Where do you earn from?
It usually comes from gigs.
The shows.
The
events,
shows, yeah. When you get booked, of course you get paid. However, the sad bit is it's only a small percentage that that gets paid, that gets booked. Say for example, it's like 5% of the artists. Yeah, the numbers are really crazy. So it's really,
that's not a big chunk, right?
it's
if you had traders union and someone came and said in my sector only 5% of us are actually earning, that would be scary.
It's something like you just have a small percentage on the average.
Yeah.
But what I would want to agree with him, you know, the world is now for organized people. Now, when you are not in that category, it's very difficult. And that's why for us as trade unions, our main aim is to organize people to have that bargaining power. And for trade union, trade union is workers' organization formed by workers, managed by workers, financed by workers, and all the nitty-gritty is done by workers. And once we are together, we can move mountains.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why you see the world now, we have fillers in every part of the country. Even in your kitchen, even in your bedroom, we have that filler. And when we put that bargaining power together, we can be able to reach somewhere.
Before we get into that, he said they have an association and you organize workers, they're working. Is there some sort of, do they belong to any part of the unions?
Yeah, you know, for them they are workers, but they will not appreciate that they are workers until you explain to them.
Whoa. Bernard, I felt that.
Well, that's why I said we still have a long way to go. And it's a start. It's a start, and I'm very sure very soon we'll be knocking on your door. And yeah, I mean, if we all have that one voice, the possibilities will be endless.
Okay, before we get to Asha Wilson, where you've talked about earning, and unfortunately for other markets, they're ahead. They've somehow tapped into how to go with the trends and make money as, you know, they diversify, if I can use that word. Have Ugandan artists started to appreciate diversity, whether it's digital trends, whether it's any other sort of way they can make money off their music outside of what is clearly not working because it's only for 5%, the gigs?
It has been embraced, but I think we're abusing it. Especially us, the artists. You know, we just want to get the music out there. We want everyone to, you know, if I have a new song right now, I'll use the digital platform to
circulate the song.
To circulate it. And yeah, we need to figure out a way of monetizing that.
Yes.
But, you know, at the moment, you see, problem is we artists, we're passionate about what we do. So it's not business first. It's the art, yeah. So we are not really. The digital platform is.
So you're
we're
artists,
misusing
you're
it,
creatives. You're not businessmen.
Flavia, there's something I want to know from him.
Yes.
I like music so much.
True.
Actually, for me, even if you take me in prison and put
music, you're good.
I'm okay. Now, when you look at the music of 1960s, 70s, 80s, now even up to today, you play and somebody, even the young people will shake their head. But today, what is surprising, your music does not last even for 6 months. 2 months, 3 months, you find that it's already disappearing. And you know, even if you bring it back and you play it, it cannot. But let me just give you an example, like Cinema Kosa. Was played back in 70s. You play it today, even a young kid will dance.
True.
What could be the problem, maybe?
Okay, you could say the quality and the content has changed, but then also our way of life has changed. We're in a fast-paced world. We have access to whatever we want. If I want the new Bebe Cool song or the new Vinka song that was released yesterday, I can have it right now. Yet there are songs, let's say, I can still remember the first time I heard that Afrigo song, Endongo ya Afrigo. I was at home and it was played on Radio Uganda. So
Wilson Ray has actually related the minute she started singing.
What I'm saying is, back then, you had to wait for a song to be played on radio. And then
Is it
now
too
those
much
songs,
access?
yeah, those songs have a sentiment to, you know, to us. It takes us back, and you know, and I don't think we can take it back to those days.
So we
don't
can't
have-
achieve what he's saying,
Nah.
where a song is timeless. We can't achieve that today.
Right now, it's because there's a lot to
Do you
consume.
want to? Do musicians want to achieve timelessness? Because maybe they're also not interested in that. It's just about, you know.
I think it would be nice to have, you know, when you put out a song and it has about 5 years on the shelf, you know, of shelf life. But I think right now it's very, very difficult to achieve because of the way of life.
So times have changed for music as well. There's the digital platform now. There's apps for music. I'm not still sure how Ugandans are earning from apps, or how they're being beneficial for them. And you actually launched as a new app?
Yeah, you know, for a long time we've always been frustrated, and you know, because the music business is still a very lucrative business. I know people that have built mansions, you know, off music. They are selling, other artists' music, you know, and this money does not
come back to the artists.
It does not. Yeah, you go to town, you find somebody
the
burning
CDs,
and
yes.
they can put music on your phone and they make money. Now we're not out here to fight them, because it's we the artists that take our music to these guys. Because there are no legit
channels
or platforms to do that. So last year we launched an app called Sautis, where the artists, it's like a marketplace
for the artists.
For the artists, you bring your music, put it there. The buyer comes, you sell them the music, we get a percentage, the artist gets a percentage. Everything is straightforward and
is this
very,
exclusive?
very
that if I'm putting my music on that app, I can't. What's the app called? Sorry,
it's called Sautis.
Sautis.
Yeah.
That I can't take it to the street.
No, it's, you know, it's your property. So whatever you want to do with it, it's like if you have tomatoes and you have a lot of options, you know.
You can sell them on 5 stores. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I think what is missing in strengthening the copyrights and also having good laws.
Yes.
In fact, we are now drafting something for you as trade unions to protect the gifts you have. I'm a board member at National Theatre.
Okay.
We are the ones who have done that good work. You know, some time back they were saying that place was going to be sold and so on. But we were planning for it and wanted to preserve our culture and ensure that that place depict the future of the young people. And by the way, you should use that place. The place is now it's really marvelous. So we are trying to bring it up so that you can use it, but we are also strengthening the laws so that when you get your music, you are able to benefit out of it. That's what is lacking. But we also need you to have your association to come on board, and we work together.
Definitely.
Yeah, we are looking forward to that, and also maybe we'll need to be sensitized and learn how the copyright law works
before you actually go and fight for it.
True.
It makes sense. Wilson, let's actually discuss the Uganda National Organization of Traders Union. This week we had Labor Day, and you were in the spotlight, you know, having a few discussions, and Ugandans are actually having the Cuban challenge because we're afraid Cubans are going to take our jobs. I don't know if we're misinformed, and I asked you earlier on if you actually not. First of all, let's just briefly tell people what the union does. What's the value of the union for the layman? Who joins the union?
Who joins the union? First of all, as I said before, union is a workers' union or trade union is a collection of trades all together in different sector. And the trade union is formed by workers. It's run by workers. The membership is purely for the workers. It's financed by the workers. It's the workers are the ones who form the basis on how it's run. it's the most democratic organization, because it starts from the workplace up to the national level. At workplace, you, like, well, let me say NTV, you're supposed to have your representative at every section. And then at a certain level, when you reach the organization itself also feed into and we, so far, National Organization of Trade Unions has 33 unions under it.
Okay.
Now, the 33 unions are from different sectors.
Oh, okay.
Like for me, I'm a worker. I work with the Civil Aviation Authority. So I belong to Amalgamated Transport and General Workers Union.
Yes.
The teachers have their union, which is the National Teachers Union. Those in other sectors,
Also
like
belong to the
electricity
unions.
union, and then we come together.
Group them.
Yes.
So an individual can also join until they get to a point where their sector is represented,
Exactly.
and then be part of that. So what is obvious to people is that if we have a grievance in our sector, you come up and help us. But perhaps just to break down, maybe a few talks.
Let me break down like this. Right from the workplace, you have a mechanism on how to handle. There's what we call, you have to sign an agreement with the management. Now, when you sign an agreement, it works as a Bible, where you have issues you are raising, and the union will have its own people to represent you with management. Management will also have a team.
Okay.
Now, you can negotiate on how you are supposed to run the organization. You put it in writing. After that, there is what you call collective bargaining agreement. That is CBA. That is all your issues. You have put them together on how you are going to be remunerated, on how you are going to welfare, work environment, and so on. So that is your Bible you use. When there's any issue, you have a disciplinary case, you have you break it down. In case you have a problem, nobody will just come and say, "Get out! Give me my identity. I've sacked you." There's a procedure you have to follow.
Great.
And you know, you follow the law. Now, after that, then when it fails at that level, then you send it to a certain level.
Yes.
Now, that level is where you have the national union, which is also at that level. For example, it is transport union or teachers union or any other union.
Yes.
They take it over from there.
Okay.
At national level, National Organization of Trade Unions is supposed to see that the policies, all whatever takes on workers' issue, mainly it works with the government, employers, and we have what we call the tripartite. Now, National Organization of Trade Unions is affiliated to many other bodies.
Okay.
International Trade Union Confederation. We are also affiliated to International Organization of Labor, ILO, that is International Labour Organization.
Yes.
And then other bodies. And then we have other stakeholders. Now, National Organization of Trade Unions and other workers' body work with government and employers. It is a tripartite arrangement.
Which you need to be anyway to enforce anything.
Exactly. Now, government, employers, and employees work together in order to run the issue of workers in the country. Now, from there, we also have International Labour Organization. Okay. Now, that is where the parliament, where we have issues in case we fail, like now we are trying now to fail.
We are
failing in this issue. We may now go in that
to the next level,
next level where International Labour Organization, we go there. And the whole world, we have Parliament of Labour, which is going to take place very soon in June. Now, when we reach there, we may have to ask Uganda government
to
explain some of the things we have been telling them.
Okay.
Yes. And when we reach there, sometime we lobby the whole world to gang against Uganda.
Because they're listening.
Yeah,
it's the
they're
time you have
listening.
them.
Oh.
So let me ask you, because we look like we might be running out of time. But Cuba, I've always heard that Cuba has some of the best doctors. We'll be honest, they have specialists and all of that. So when I first heard it, I said, not too bad, but I thought it was a come and train level. Then if you're saying they should come in and take over as we're hearing it. So from a layman who's listening and saying, so the Cubans are taking over people's jobs, but you have some inside info.
No,
Just talk to us
Flavia,
about
I was very, very happy
Yes.
because I raised that issue and it has caught fire,
yes.
everywhere. Now, why am I happy? You know, I was negotiating with my president. And in the process of negotiation, he came up and said, yes, I was going to bring them. He didn't say he was going to bring them. So, for me, it's good.
Yeah.
Because they didn't confirm that he's bringing them.
He said he was thinking
He was thinking because
So
some
it's
people
not
were
happening.
indisciplined and so on.
We're not sure yet what's happening.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So, but the main point which I raised was more important than the Cuban issue because I raised the issue of salary enhancement for all the civil servants in the country. You know, government is the biggest employer. It employs around 400,000 people. There's no single employer in this country who employs that number. And you know, economically, it impacts on the economic well-being of Ugandans. Because if these people are given some money in the pocket, they will spend it in the market. And when when they do that, do you know how many people I look after and so on? So it's an economic issue which we raised. But you see now the Cuban doctors have taken over. But more or less, the issue of Cuban doctors, let me say this, and I want to be on record.
Yes.
That first of all, we have doctors here.
Capable doctors.
Capable doctors. If we want to train people, we do what? That one is another arrangement. You don't mix it with the planning for the country health system. What we need to do is, first of all, to empower, revamp our health system. Ensure that we have all what it takes. Even now, there are doctors who are on the street. They have qualified, even the nurses.
They're waiting for an opportunity
the nurses
to work.
actually are 50,000 who are registered. Now, the government has
and we're
just...
still churning them out in the schools, nursing schools.
Yes, and only 20,000 have been taken over. Now, where are the rest of the 30,000? And you know, and one of my job is to protect already jobs which are available. Because our people are now going out for Cheo and so on. So you cannot contradict that because we still have that issue. But for me, I'm happy. The president said he wanted to punish some people. You see? So it's not a policy issue.
So he's not punishing them.
No.
He wanted to punish them.
He wanted to punish them. So for me...
A threat can also...
but so for me, I'm not taking it seriously.
Okay. But you're glad the conversation
is being had, and it will take us to another level. Because right now, as we talk, the cabinet must be discussing the issue of remunerating the workers. Once workers of government are properly revamped and remunerated, motivated, yes, this country will go to another level. But you see, my biggest problem is that the managers of government have failed to create harmony within the working people of their own. Instead of saying thank you, you know, Flavia, if your boss comes today and says, Flavia, you have done very well that program, it will motivate you more. But if he tells you, I'm disappointed, what is this? You know?
We need to wrap up. This has been interesting, but let me tell you that this is just the start. All these conversations are going to be happening. We're going to bring these musicians back. They're saying they are trying to come together. We'll task them to explain how far. Asha Wilson-Oweri, the Chairman General of the Uganda National Organization for Traders Union, will also be back to explain how far are the Cubans here when they land. We need to know. If they don't land, are we empowering
I like the fun about it.
Yes, but we have to wind up the show. it seems like we need so much time, but I wasn't alone on the show, so I'm not sure if I can have my team back. We did have Andrew Chamagero, who was the Mutuawansi on the ground, and I also have Mala. We have to wind up, so I'm not sure how to do this. Perhaps freestyle. Mala can join me. This is, by the way, Mala. She's one of our new hosts, and she's doing the solutions. Actually, Asha Wilson, where she will probably most likely be seeing you soon to discuss so many solutions. Come.
Okay.
And I don't know if Chamagoro is still on the ground. I don't know if he made it to try and also say bye to the people. So yes, so Benon Mugimbi is giving us accountability of artists. He'll be back to talk about solutions soon.
Interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And we'll be knocking on his door.
Knocking on his door as well.
Very soon.
Yes. Did you have any? How was it today?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
You had good
At least now
conversations?
we have started the conversation around positivity, and that shift is quite important for us to shape the Uganda we want. So also you had a quite interesting conversation. This is quite
We did,
interesting,
yeah.
yeah.
And we didn't manage to get you the song you wanted, but I don't know if I have Andrew Chamagero. We don't want to say bye without him. It would be quite sad. Oh, there he is, Chamagero.
Yes, Flavia. You guys have had a lot of fun back that side, and greetings to Ben on that side, and everyone was there. Well, right now I'm signing out and I'm coming to you live from Magic Parking Space. I'm at a restaurant called Fefenyini. Yeah, we're having good breakfast here, but it has been quite a very great day. But I was touched by the lady who was commenting about KCCA. Barwa Basasura, I just sent Baba want to know, like, this really touched my heart today.
Should come and see this gentleman here.
I don't know about you, but
Come and see me.
All right. So I'm going to have my breakfast here, but it has been a very exciting moment. Abantu one see their voices are going to be amplified, they're going to be heard. It's much more exciting. Back to you in studios.
Thank you so much. First of all, before we really go, we'd like to thank our team. I saw there was a gift coming and our producer was sending it back. I'm not sure why, but our team,
Yes.
our team, our producers, our directors, everyone on camera, sound.
Yes.
This show has happened because of that team, from brainstorming to today. Sometimes we have to thank you. You told us to say thank you. If you don't say thank you, we don't motivate.
It's a motivation.
It's motivation.
Yes. You know, if a president of Uganda says thank you, doctors, just one word, thank you, it can help.
Mr. President,
them.
say thank you with numbers. Say thank you with words. Thank you so much, team. Flavia Tumisima, I have absolutely enjoyed this morning. Why? Because I get fired up when we start, conversations. Yeah, I get fired up when we at least start a conversation. But something different on the show. I think you can, as you say, lead us into something the community. If you're making a difference in your community, big or small, we end our show in a special way. So as she says her bye, she will lead us into that.
Yeah, so after we leave, we will be leaving you with a segment called My Way. And in this segment, we'll be celebrating the unsung heroes in society. People who are making a difference, but no one talks about them. But we'll do just that. We'll amplify your voice. We will showcase what you're doing for the society just to show gratitude, like he mentioned. So thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to catch us same time next week on Monday to Friday. And always remember that you know what? For every challenge that you face, the solutions lie in your hands.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Celine Kihunde. I am doing my part in changing my community, my Uganda. I am a volunteer with 40 Days Over 40 Smiles Foundation, and I have done this for the last 6 years. The work we do changes lives of vulnerable children, and we've been able to change 1,200 lives. I'm making a difference. That's my way.
You're watching Morning at NTV.
Prudential, with over 170 years of existence. Don't worry about your child's future education. Be happy with PruEduSave, and let's face life together. Turinawi. Prudential.
Alo, onzijukira twegwako mu kabutiiki wandiramu mu kasimu ka Fero aka MTN baby yakamatira.
Ate munnange kakomyewo osobola okwefunira mu dduuka lya MTN.
Esimu ya smartphone emanyiddwa nga Fero okuva mu MTN ekomyewo ate nga kati eri ku bbeeyi ya nsekobuseko emitwalo 12,900 zokka. Weefunire Fero A4001 Plus anti ejjirako GB 2 eza internet okuva mu MTN kw'ossa n'akajaketi kaayo ak'obwereere. Kati nno weefunire esimu ya smartphone eya Fero olwaleero okuva mu maduuka ga MTN oba ku jumia.ug.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
When I was a young man, I could do twice that amount of work. I even climbed a mountain, you know.
Uncle Clark fixed it.
Such a small thing.
Dangaze byenjagala mu 7 galinga agenda okuba sugar daddy. In 93,
you were obsessed with the man.
I loved this liberator, the revolutionary guy. I believed he'd come to restore us. Abali ba former refugees, tufuse ba citizens, tufunye amasomero at what the
you get to depend on him. The more you get to experience him, the more you get to actually walk with him.
This is a live broadcast from heaven.